to talk about how we can improve the way that we approach our lives. As you know, I've written a book called Flowing in the Workplace. And my goal, the subtitle of that book is A Guide to Personal and Professional Success. And one of the main points that I really try to make in this book is that there is no difference between personal and professional success. Life is really not split up in a way so that we can say that you can be successful in business differently than at home and in life. I've heard so many times people say, oh, it's just business. I knocked that guy to the ground. He's dead. I beat him. But it's just business. Hey, he's my best friend, but I cut his throat. He's out of the deal. Hey, but it's just business. It's not just business, because people who are violent, are angry, are uncaring about others in their business life, they bring those qualities of consciousness home with them. They can't help it. So what do people like that do at home? They argue with their spouse. Maybe they abuse their spouses. Maybe they drink heavily or do drugs, whatever. It's one of the... I remember in the Godfather movie series, they take the shot of the capo he's in the church, and his grandson or some child has been born. He's at the baptism. He's the godfather of the child. And while that person is in the church at the baptism, his minions are killing somebody because they did something that they didn't like. That doesn't work. And if you look at those people's lives, if you look at the lives of people who are mean to others in business, they're mean to others in their personal lives too. You can't separate it. And a person who has joyfulness and calmness at home, they can't be mean at work. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be smart. That doesn't mean you can't be powerful. You can be. You can be incredibly successful in your business life if, in fact, you develop the skills that will also help you to be successful at home. And when we think that any part of life is separate from life itself, we're mistaken. And we can see that. Look at the very goals that our society sets for us. What is the goal of life? Well, to be rich, to have a lot of material possessions, and to hopefully to have a good family life. But if you look at advertisements, what they really say is like that advertisement from Las Vegas, which is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. A lot of people don't like that ad. But one of the reasons they don't like that ad is because it's just all too true about how people really feel. They want to have places in their lives where they can do whatever they want, what they really want, without any repercussion. And in order to find true personal balance and happiness, you must reconcile that truth in your own life. The basis of success in any part of life is honesty, self-honesty. The willingness to actually say, this is how I feel. This is how I really feel. Now, we may not want to act on all the things we really feel, but we should at minimum admit that we feel them. Admit how we are actually living. So many of us look at our lives and we don't actually admit that we're mean. We say it's just business. That means it's not really mean. It's just business. You're supposed to be mean in business. No, you're not supposed to be mean in business. And the belief that negative attitudes do lead to success, that it's necessary to be that way in order to be successful, that's just simply not true. And even more importantly, if it was true, why choose it? Because what does material success lead to with that attitude? Look at the people who have gotten to the top that way. Look at the people who are materially successful and or famous. And how many of them stay married? How many of them are really peaceful, joyful? How many of them wake up in the morning with a smile on their face saying, life is good? No, they wake up saying, I'm going to fight again. I'm going to fight again. Anybody gets in my way, I'm going to let them have it. Fighter consciousness is not happy consciousness. There's a real difference between the excellence that comes from, say, an Olympic athlete that truly excels in their field, that truly is absolutely fantastic at what they do. The satisfaction of that excellence is very different than the attitude of the person that wants to pulverize their opponent. That negative attitude leads to unhappiness. And even in the cases of the people who have a good attitude, but they grow up with the belief that material success, fame is going to lead to ultimate happiness, what happens to the people who get the gold? What happens to the people who become famous because they can sing? Or the people who are at the peak of their field in any field? And what happens is it dips and they dip. And even if they stay up, they dip. Because the human emotional response to life cannot sustain peak levels of experience. The nature of the emotions is to go up and down. That's the way they're made. That's the way life is made. But the soul isn't made that way. We are capable of experiencing an unending outflow of positive experience. The way that we do that is through the cultivation of our inner connection to life itself, the core of the way life is made, rather than seeking our fulfillment outside of ourselves. When we do that, when we, through our inner connection to life itself, utilize that connection, what we find is that we have more energy, more focus, more joyful, positive feeling that can come out towards what we're doing, which leads naturally to success. And in any case, people with a positive attitude towards life find that it doesn't really matter what happens. If you're living with a positive attitude, success or failure are really immaterial. The real success in life is to have a successful consciousness, to treat people right, to treat yourself right, to live in harmony with life. And when we do that, the end of the world can't stop us. We must understand that the real key to success in life, whether it be personal or business, is to harmonize with life itself, and then to harmonize with the way that life is trying to flow through us. And when we find that harmony in our own lives, we will experience the positive flow for our lives.